what I tell candidates all the time, which is so important, even now, even in 2026, is, sometimes candidates will think they have to copy and paste what Trump says, the same language, the same tone. And what we don't understand, what we collectively, is that no one will ever be Trump. He is a once in a lifetime leader, politician that we have. And because of that, if you try to mimic him, you come across as disingenuous. You come across fake. I think we saw some of the candidates on Tuesday take the wrong lessons from Trump and try to, act like someone they weren't. What someone like Governor Youngkin was, able to do, he embraced the base, embraced the Trump policies, but he didn't change who he was or his brand. And that's what all these candidates have to do. You have to be able to speak Trump and support Trump, but in your own language. Don't lose who you are. And that's what's so important for us coming up in these midterms is, speaking Trump's policies and speaking support for Trump, and because these are all policies that are make the country better. That's what America said, 78 million people said last November. But to be able to, say that in your own words is going to be so important because voters can smell a fraud a mile away.
Yeah, really, really smart.
That's true. But the problem is, in a primary, isn't what you say. It's when you get asked questions of whatever the crackpot thing of the day was, you got to answer those questions. And that's where these candidates have problems.
Well, you do, you don't. You look at Mondami, he's been asked like 3 times, well, Trump said you were pretty and, Jeffries won't, support you. And he just says, hey, I'm worried about this today. I'm worried about the transition today. I'm worried about this. Sorry. And I mean, it's a gifted speaker and a gifted politician who's able to do that. But sometimes you have to learn not to take the bait and focus on, I'm in an interview today and we're talking about 2020 and, or 2026. And maybe in 2 minutes, Mark's going to ask what I think the weather is going to be next week. And I don't want to answer that. So I'm going to say, well, actually, I think the weather next November is going to be great. So we should get out and vote. You have to just be a nimble political athlete at some point.